To set up this experiment, we've got 4 stations. Each one has got a beaker for our ocean, a beaker for our oil rig. It's got a toolkit which has tongue depressor, some stirring sticks, pipettes, scoops, forceps, and then we've got a materials bucket over here which has got some cotton balls, some paper towels, some Q-tips, and some oil absorbing pads. And then we have over here our waste bucket. And then we've got our oil, which is vegetable oil with some chocolate powder mixed in. And then we have our ocean water with a little bit of food coloring in it. Okay, so we are talking about the oil spill today. You guys heard anything about the oil spill in the news? What did you hear about it? Yeah, so a lot of animals in the ocean can get harmed by the oil spill. So what other kinds of animals are there besides fish in the ocean?
Squid, sharks, crabs.
Yeah, so all of those, especially like the birds, when they get the oil on their feathers, they can't fly anymore, they can't stay warm anymore. So it's really, really important that the scientists work to clean it up. So what we're going to do today is create a miniature oil spill, and then you guys are going to be the scientists and test out some different materials and some different tools to figure out the best way to clean it up. Alright? Okay, so you guys have each got an ocean right here with some colored water in it, and then you guys have got your oil rigs. So this stuff is just vegetable oil, so it's not the dangerous kinds, but it's going to act the same as the oil does in the ocean. Alright? You guys want to go ahead and pour a little bit of oil in there and make an oil spill? Alright, so what do you guys notice about the oil?
It's making the water turn like the water turn different color.
Alright, is it making all of the water turn a different color?
Top.
Just
top, but not the bottom.
Just the top. So can you get the oil to mix up in the water?
I got some in the bottom.
You got a little bit on the bottom? See if you can get them to mix together. Yeah, so oil and water don't mix, they kind of repel each other. So do you think it would be harder or easier to clean it up if the oil's on the top of the water? What do you think? So it could be on the top, it could be all mixed up, or it could be way down at the bottom. Which one do you think would be the easiest to clean? Yeah, so it actually makes it a little bit easier when it's on the top of the water. Alright, you guys ready to clean it up? Yeah. Okay, so you guys can use any of these tools over here, any of these materials. So our goal is to get as much oil as we can out of the water, and we want to leave the water behind. Okay, so go ahead and pour it. You can pour it back into your oil rig over here. Alright, so what tool are you guys using right now? That's called a pipette. So how is that helping the oil?
It's getting the oil.
Yeah, so you're actually sucking some of that oil off the top, and that's one thing that they're doing is they're actually siphoning it off the surface. You guys want to try another tool?
Yeah.
How does that one work? Yeah, so if this was the whole oil spill, do you think it'd be very easy to get all the oil out?
Yeah.
That plan worked pretty good.
That's
except
pretty
we got
well.
a little bit too much.
Yeah, so one of the things that they're doing is they're actually absorbing the oil, and instead of using cotton, one of the things that they're doing is using human hair to absorb the oil. So the barber shops are sending down people's hair, and they're making these giant mats out of them, and it sucks all the oil up. So the first activity will, some of the visitors may want to just play with it for a while. They might want to make some more oil spills, and so if it's not busy, you can let them just let that occupy their time for as long as they want. If you want to try some other extensions, one possibility is demonstrating the use of dispersants, which are detergent-like chemicals, and what we have to demonstrate it is some soap. So they can try mixing the oil up, and see that the oil and the water don't mix together. But if we add a dispersant, like this soap, what the soap does is it allows the water and the oil to mix. So you can ask them, would this be a good way to do it? And a lot of them will say, well, no, because now the whole water is all dirty. But if it was just a small oil spill, distributing the oil into the whole ocean is a pretty effective way. And they're using that a little bit in the oil spill right now. So another option, another extension, if they want to keep experimenting, it's good for the younger kids. We've got some feathers and we've got some oil. So you can talk to them about how the birds, they saw in the last experiment, the birds would be one of the ones that would be hurt by the oil because they were floating on the top. And when birds get oil in their feathers, it limits their ability to fly or to stay dry or to keep warm. And so there's a type of scientist called a wildlife biologist that they're the ones that help to rescue some of the birds and clean the oil off their feathers. So what we're letting the visitors do is get a little bit of oil on the feathers, and again remind them that this is just vegetable oil, and then they can go ahead and try and wash it off, and they'll find that it's pretty difficult, especially if you don't put any soap in there. Eventually we'll have to put soap in there, but it's pretty difficult to get the feathers clean. But this is a fun activity for some of the younger kids that will want to play with it for a while.